How happy were you with the show, the fights, and the production and everything?
Fights were phenomenal, as always. You know, we want to keep up the reputation, and when you walk out of here, your hair will stand up on your arms when you're watching these fights. That's what we strive for each and every time.
The Jordan Jackson and Aaron Suarez fight started things off with a bang.
Oh, I almost thought that was the fight of the night until Kamal and Mike came on board. You know, it was a toss-up. You know, but that's true. It was phenomenal, the first fight.
How in the world do you find a fighter who has a 0-0 record or a 0-1 record and go, you know what, I'm going to trust the kickoff of the show with this kind of guy? Are you looking at tapes, or are you talking to people, or what?
No, I spent about probably an hour and a half to 2 hours reviewing each fighter before I even send them a contract. We look at their YouTubes, we look at their amateur fights. You know, I see how they won and how they lost, and I try to match them up with their opponents' wins and losses. So there's a whole lot of detail and a lot of research put into these fights.
Before we get to the headline fight, Kamal and Michael, Todd Moore was, I mean, he had a war against an opponent who just wouldn't quit.
It's phenomenal. You know, he was a 5-degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Judo, Ninjutsu, Taekwondo, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is what it was. I'm sorry, I repeated myself. But yeah, he's got 5 arts in the 5th-degree belt.
Yeah, it was an amazing fight. Rocky Johnson was landing a lot of strikes even from his back. Moore looked like he was in control the whole time, but when that fight was over, were you starting to picture doing what Moore was asking for, the title fight for Moore?
I'm going to give it to him. I was honored to have him on a card. Todd Moore has been in Japan. He's been on WEC. He's a world-famous fighter, and I'm honored to have guys like that on my card. That's what you're going to see when you come to King of Kombat.
Now, Mikel Bronzoulis might want to try to get into a title fight before Todd Moore gets a shot.
He wants a rematch. Yes, it's gonna be kind of crazy on that. But they're actually 2 different weight classes.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, Kamal and Mike are at 170, and Todd Moore fights at 155.
Okay, yeah. I apologize.
No, it's all good. Yeah,
but who is the 155 champion right now?
Nick Gonzalez.
All right.
So that's going to be. But Nick got moved up to Bellator, so I'm going to put Todd Moore as contendership, and we're going to have to match somebody up for that title, and I'll bring another war to the cage for sure.
What did you think of Deuce King at 155 tonight?
He's one of my boys. Deuce King's one of our King of Kombat guys. I have a group of guys that's in my barn, for say, and he is one of them. He's a hometown favorite. He's very honorable. You know, he's a gentleman, and those are the kind of guys that I'm representing my company.
He's got the right last name.
Yeah, exactly. King. I love the way he comes out with his hat too. That's awesome.
A little bit of controversy in the final fight. We're gonna finish off with this. What was your opinion on that fight? What would you have scored it?
It was a war. I mean, it was a toss-up. I don't want that decision. Yeah, both guys were great. If I was a judge, I wouldn't know what to do. I'm kind of partial favorite. He's my welterweight champion. Kamal's a whole-time favorite. But Mike came in here and took care of some business. I mean, Kamal was knocked out for a few seconds there. If you saw him, he was looking at stars. But he came back and held his ground, and it turned out to be a great fight. It was a matchup. If that was the fight of the night or the first one.
Those are the fights you love. When I think both of those guys at one point or another were looking at the ceiling and wondering if Mom was going to be the one that they looked at next.
Yes. Well, it turned out to be we had 7 injury claims on this fight. Broken bones, broken arms. These guys were warriors. You know, they fought awesome.
Well, quick on the injuries. Anything significant you want to talk about here? We hadn't heard of the injuries.
No. I just got word that the guys. Hope Adam's okay. Adam Schlinder. He went to the hospital. I think he had a concussion. I think we had a broken elbow. We had a dislocated shoulder. But it happens. These guys are warriors. That's what they're used to doing. Yeah. So.
What is the possibility of a rematch between Michael and Kamal?
Very, very close. Very close. It was amazing. I couldn't imagine. Kamal is a Brit Olympic wrestler. He didn't do his game. You know, if he would have taken Mike to the ground, it might have been a different outcome. But he stood him and struck all day long.
What was your reaction when Michael missed weight yesterday?
It's hard. I mean, I feel these guys. He was 1.5 pounds over, and that was it. You know, that disqualified him from having a chance at the title. That's why it was 3 5s instead of 5 5s. But he still came in and took care of business.
You talk about attendance tonight. How was it?
It was packed. I think we did about 90%. I want to see with our ticket count. I'm anxious. That's the next day. We'd lay it all on the table and find out how we did. But it looked like there was hardly a seat left in the house.
And the venue?
Venue was awesome. I love it because it's close and cozy. There is not a bad seat in the house. No matter what ticket you buy, you're going to have a great view.
Yeah. Was this the first time or the second time at the Crockett Center?
I've been here all 6 times.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, this is our home. Yeah.
6 times. Okay,
I've been here 6 times.
Fantastic. Ron, thank you for a great night of fights, and thank you for your hospitality tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. Hopefully see you again.